games, which are not easy to do against San Antonio, and Golden State 70 wins.
Second ever with 70 wins. They clinched the top spot in the Western Conference playoffs. 42nd time this season they've had 30 or more assists. So here's what's ahead for Golden State. They need to win out to get to win number 73 and break that 95-96 Bulls team's record. 2 of those games are against Memphis. Saturday in Memphis, then they go to San Antonio, a game you'll see on NBA TV. Fellas, first of all, what did we learn tonight from this this huge matchup that we've been talking about for so long?
Defense wins. I don't know if we learned that. I think we all know that. But like Brent said, the Golden State Warriors got back to being great defensively. 40 points at the half, doing the things that elite teams have to do to win. And I thought that was the difference in the game tonight.
I think we also learned, Matt, for San Antonio in terms of their tactics to play against the Golden State Warriors, how much Boris Diaw is such a tool for Greg Popovich in that series, to play him on the perimeter, to get him down in the post, to work some of the mismatches. There's so many things that he can do. If Tim Duncan is not going to play in a lot of minutes because it's just the matchup with Bogut, Boris Diaw becomes such a factor for him, as we saw in that game too, to be able to use his unique skill set and body style to his advantage against the Golden State Warriors. So that's a key piece that was missing tonight.
He was unavailable because of an abductor injury. What's your takeaway from what happened tonight in Oakland?
The Spurs are not scared. They're in the locker room saying, we can beat these guys. Because we all know that, you know, when the Spurs are playing phenomenal ball, stars are putting up good numbers, but you have 2 or 3 superstars, Patty Mills, Boris Diaw. They didn't have that tonight. You know, they kept fighting, only lost by 11, really didn't shoot the ball that well. Steph Curry hit some crazy shots, but the Spurs are not scared. They know if they play superb basketball, they could beat them like they did last time in San Antonio. They're not scared. They're ready to go.
You guys have all played in a million playoff series. Derek has played in more playoff games, won more playoff games than any player in NBA history. So I put it to all of you, does it matter to San Antonio at all that they didn't win in Oakland in their 2 tries and would have to win there to take a series from them should it come to that?
It doesn't matter to them. They're battle-tested. You know, they've been a dynasty, 5 championships. They know what it takes to win championships. Everyone knows you have to win on the road. They're capable of winning on the road, even at Golden State, if they do everything correctly. Didn't shoot the ball well. Had, 12 turnovers. They could drop that to 9. And, if the others, like Patty Mills, could have phenomenal games, Boris Diaw, they could beat this team. But they're not scared. They're not worried. They've been there before, a long time. And, they got 65 wins. So, Pop plays chess, not checkers. So he's going to rest his guys and the players. They're going to be ready. He's going to be able to make adjustments that I don't think any other teams are ready for. They will definitely be ready.
So now Sunday, the Spurs really only have the unblemished home record to protect on Sunday. You know that organization. You know Greg Popovich. How much does that matter to them?
You know what, Matt? It's kind of the same sort of argument that you could have about Golden State chasing down this record, being that close. To think about that 85-86 Celtic team with Bird, McHale, and Parrish being 40-1 over the course of the season. To think that you could have an undefeated home record. And Pop even mentioned before tonight's game that Sunday he would expect to play his starters in that game, maybe have a better performance against Golden State. So I'm not going to be surprised if those guys are out there against them on Sunday one more time to see if they can do exactly that and set a little bit of history on their home court and use that to their advantage.
How do you think that plays out, Derek?
Well, it'll be interesting, I think, more so for the Warriors than even the Spurs, because it's a back-to-back situation. And so here you are going for these 73 wins. But you play Saturday night in Memphis, you play Sunday night in San Antonio. Is it worth it? If Steph Curry plays big minutes in Memphis, do you play him big minutes again in San Antonio? I think that'll be interesting for us to watch over the next few days.
LaMarcus Aldridge, 2 games in Oakland, 7 of 25 from the field, a total of 16 points and 6 boards in those games. They wanted to get to him. He did have the pinky, I know, tonight. That was obviously a factor, but kind of a miserable game the first time around. Tonight they went to him early. Well, what did that tell you?
No, it's still the recipe, Matt, because the way that LaMarcus Aldridge and his season has gone in San Antonio, you look month by month, the way that he has produced for this team, more and more comfortable as a first option on offense down in the post, operating on the left block, which I think is reserved for Tim Duncan for the rest of his life in San Antonio at AT&T Center. But LaMarcus has had a remarkable year. I think the anomaly was the first game. Tonight, dealing with the hand injury, he is still a vital part to their attack, going big, playing big, and making sure he takes advantage of Draymond Green, Harrison Barnes, or any switches that happen. He's still going to be an impact player for them in the playoffs.
And they've gone to him more and more as the season has progressed, just under 21 points, 9 boards a game since the All-Star break for Aldridge. But the Spurs lose for the 13th time this season tonight in Oakland. Here's head coach Greg Popovich.
Well, you can't make mistakes because you guys are the best team on the planet. And if you lose your concentration defensively, or you shoot ill-advised shots or don't move the ball, give it back to them quickly, you're in big trouble. In the first half, that's what we did. We started out great, and all of a sudden, at the offensive end, ball didn't move, didn't change sides, quick shots, contested shots, along with 6 turnovers, and they jumped on it, and that was the game.
Your effort to control Curry and Thompson, you know, it's just how difficult it is to deal with everybody else as well.
Well, it's always difficult. I mean, those are, 2 great players, and they involve their teammates. It's an unselfish team, and Barnes had a great game tonight to go along with it. Vermont was great, so, it was a team effort. They were wonderful. It's fun to watch. Anybody else?
Coach, in the last game, Tim Duncan didn't start. We only played him 8 minutes. Today, you went away from him relatively early in the third quarter. Is there a concern that he doesn't match up all that well against this team?
We're going to do whatever we can to try to, play well with them. It doesn't matter, who it is. If it's Timmy or Tony or Kawhi, or you just do what we can to match up properly.
When you consider matchups, not only for next Tuesday, but as you look forward to the playoffs, what do you take from tonight, and how do you continue to implement changes to...
Well, we don't play these guys in the playoffs unless we win the first and second round, so you're getting a little ahead of yourself.
What was your concern level when you saw LaMarcus' hand when he came to the side?
Like 1 to 10, do you want me to say, I was concerned.
Do you have a prognosis on that?
I don't know anything. I think he's okay. I think it came out, they put it back in, it came out again, they put it back in. Probably sore, but probably okay. That's my guess. Okay? Thank you.
A relatively patient Greg Popovich after the game, and they'll do it again on Sunday on NBA TV in San Antonio. Warriors take it tonight. More inside the NBA on the way. Highlights from the rest of the night, including